Hey, what's up guys? John here. The energy crisis in Europe is getting out of control, and I believe over the next few months we're going to see things that we could have never imagined. Just looking at what's happening in Switzerland, looking at what's happening in Europe, looking at what's happening even with the big banks, what they are doing, to me it signals some very, very big problems. When you have low energy prices, you generally will have lower costs on things such as iced coffees, t-shirts, this cell phone I'm filming the video on, laptops, everything that we use for our business, for our lives, for our homes. It's all transported to us through transportation, such as trucks, boats, planes. When costs go up, when there's rationing, when there is, this new approach, we are going to feel it when we go pull out our credit card, put cash on the table to make a purchase. We're going to see these expenses start to skyrocket. And I think that this is going to only push inflation higher, which could then in turn only instigate further rate hikes to levels in which a lot of people can't comprehend yet. Take a look at this. Please hit that like button. Hit the like button. YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people about what's going on. Also, if you want to fix your credit, you want to learn about getting started on YouTube, or you want to invest in real estate when the market crashes, go to cashnow.video. Take a look at this. Europe's Russian energy crisis is escalating, and so are the costs. Look at what's happening in Switzerland. This is pretty crazy, right? This just came out today, and this could really change everything. And we're seeing this if your temperature goes over 66 degrees, right? This could be the outcome. So this could be the outcome if your energy goes over 66 degrees in Switzerland. And JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, and other major European banks are turning off hot water, stopping fountains, and preparing diesel generators as Russia chokes the energy supply. Major banks across Europe are implementing measures in the workplace to cut down on energy consumption as Russia tightens its gas supply to the continent. The Kremlin shut off its natural gas flow to Europe via the key Nord Stream 1 pipeline last week and said it wouldn't reopen it until the West lifts its sanctions against Moscow put in place after Russia invaded Ukraine in February. Reuters reported on Wednesday that global banks in Europe had started to crack on their energy use to prepare for rationing and power cuts before the winter. JP Morgan's locations in Europe have carried out power outages simulations to help prepare for a loss of power. A person with knowledge of the matter told Reuters. The person also said the bank could use diesel generators to keep some offices operating for a few days a week if the situation worsens. JP Morgan declined to comment to Business Insider about the energy-saving plans. The German banking giant Deutsche Bank told Reuters it was switching off hot water in bathrooms, changing the temperatures in offices, turning off the fountains outside of the main offices in Frankfurt, Germany. The bank also told the publication it was switching off its light up outdoor ads and some lighting inside the workspace overnight. The Swiss insular Zurich told Insider it planned to turn off office lights overnight and stop using decorative features that use energy, including fountains. It said that if the energy crisis gets worse, it could close services like the company gym and open only certain floors of its offices. The stock exchange firm Euronext told Reuters that it had a backup generator and that it had reevaluated its energy uses since the beginning of the war. Right? UniCredit, one of Italy's largest banks, has power supply from two independent power stations that could provide energy to two of its data centers, a source told Reuters, without disclosing how long the power would last. France's largest bank, BNP, also has taken steps to protest itself from supply cuts, Reuters reported. Apart from JP Morgan and Zurich, the company mentions in its article didn't immediately respond to requests for comment, right? It's not just banks that are cracking down on power consumption this year. European governments have introduced measures ahead of winter to prevent energy shortages. Germany has barred energy-intensive heating on private swimming and bathing pools, while Finland has urged people to spend less time in saunas and showers, right? Europe's household electrical bills could surge by $2 trillion next year amid the worsening energy crisis. $2 trillion, it sounds like a lot of money, because it is, but how much is that for every household, right? Well, there's 197 million households. So if it is going to surge by $2 trillion, we're going to add $2 trillion to the expenses, right? So $2 trillion divided by 197 million people is an extra $10,000, right? It's an extra 10 grand. So this is what I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at how this is going to impact real estate, how it's going to impact everyone, right? Their everyday lives. real estate, I think that we could see a situation that if we start to see utility bills skyrocket by that figure of say $10,000, and they are also suffering under food inflation, and they are starting to see their economy contract, what's going to ultimately happen? I bet that they're more likely going to pay their utility companies before they're paying their landlord, right? So we could start to see a situation in which people start losing their jobs at greater pace, and people start, holding back those payments to landlords. And as that happens, interest rates will be rising, changing the dynamics even more in favor of a buyer's market in Europe. And I think that we could start to see these trends follow here in America. But I think ultimately this is only just the beginning, and things are going to get a lot worse. What do you think about this entire situation? Like, do you think that this Europe's Russian energy crisis is escalating? Do you think this thing is just going to be only in Europe, or do you think we're going to start to see this? Because if this is pretty wild stuff, right? And they're talking about, cited experiences saying that going door to door, right? So on the order measures that will be implemented, he does not want police going from door to door, calling for guidelines, right? So, this is what I think is ultimately going to happen. I think we are going to see some pretty crazy things coming very, very soon. I think this is going to have such a massive impact on the stock market, on the real estate market, on business as a whole. And I think this is ultimately going to be a very big problem for a lot of small businesses that do not have the cash. That's why, I report on this stuff because, I'm an entrepreneur and I love the economy and investing and really studying what's really going on, so we can all make smart financial decisions, right? If you're in Europe and this situation can essentially control the price in which you buy goods to sell goods for your business, that's going to, ultimately turn you into a place where you're profitable or not profitable, right? You're only going to be able to survive if you are making smart financial decisions in advance of all these things that are happening. That's why I think right now, starting an online business is key. Starting something to where you can, reduce your cost if you need to, right? If you have a brick and mortar location, you have one manager, you have 5 employees, you have, all these fixed hard costs, and then you're buying products and trying to sell products, it's going to be extremely expensive, especially as you have employees starting to pick up side hustles, quitting jobs, trying to find other jobs. You're going to start to see that these businesses start to really fall apart, whereas online businesses start to scale up. It's interesting too, like looking at what some of these celebrities are doing right now during these periods, is that some of them are even like starting private equity companies, celebrities that are not even in the finance space, because they're leveraging their personal brands. And that's what I think that business owners should be doing right now, is figuring out ways in which they can leverage their business, leverage their brand, reduce their costs, put themselves in a position where they can pivot with the times and really reduce risk and exposure, because that is what's coming. It's going to be risk and exposure to almost all business models that are not privy to what is going to be happening, which is going to be the destruction of small business happening in Europe first, coming to America next. What do you think about this entire situation? Drop your comments below. Subscribe here, and subscribe to my second channel. It's going to be an interactive call-in show on a podcast. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok up in the banner. I think it might be on this side here. And then also, if you want to fix your credit, you want to get on the YouTube grind with me, start an online business, and you want to invest in real estate when the market crashes, CashNot.video. If you are a mortgage lender, if you are in the real estate space, solar space, you are in front of customers that need to qualify for financing, but maybe they have bad credit, visit CashNot.video, become a affiliate partner. There's a lot of perks, benefits. You can receive monthly passive income, free advertising for your business. There's a lot of perks for you. And you can visit, you can just look at the top comment pinned down below at the top, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.